If everything in your business still depends on you, you probably can't imagine what it would feel like if it didn't. So let me show you what actually changes when a business stops running through its founder. I'm going to tell you about a real client, a real business, and what actually shifted when the business finally caught up to the size that she had built. Because if you've been wondering whether it's even possible to step back without your business falling apart, this video is going to answer that question. Let me introduce you to my client. We'll call her Sarah. Sarah has a digital product business in the e-commerce space. She creates courses and micro products, also digitally, for those who are wanting to get into the e-commerce space and sell their own things as well. Everything looks scalable on paper for her. She has a team, she has systems, and she even has revenue coming in very consistently. So everything looks fine, but here's what's actually happening. Every morning, Sarah would open her laptop before her team was even awake, just to get ahead of all the questions that would be coming that day. Her team was capable and they genuinely wanted to do good work, but they couldn't move without her. Not because they were lazy, but because every decision, every approval, and every hey, quick question was still living in Sarah's head. She was the only one who could see the full picture. And here's the part that really got to her. Sarah couldn't even go on vacation without her laptop. Not a long weekend, not a beach trip, not even 2 weeks somewhere she'd been dreaming about. Because the moment she stepped away, things would stall. Her team would wait. Questions were piling up in Asana and Slack. And she'd come back to a backlog that would take her days to dig out of. So she stopped trying to fully step away, and instead she just brought the laptop. Sound familiar? Here's what makes this stage so exhausting. It's not going to magically get lighter. Sarah tried more delegating, being more organized, giving more detailed instructions than ever before so her team would know exactly what to do. She tried being more responsive, more available. Her hours increased exponentially. And somehow, she ended up more involved than ever. Because here's the truth about this stage. When your business is designed to depend upon you, the more effort that you're putting in is just creating more dependency. So the more clients that you get, the more complexity you're creating for yourself. And that more complexity means more decisions. And more decisions means that's more of Sarah's brain being used as the operating system. And a business that runs on one brain, no matter how brilliant that brain is, it becomes fragile. It can't grow past your capacity. It can't run without your input. And it definitely can't give you your life back. Sarah knew this. She could feel it, but she didn't know what to change. Because when you're on the inside and you're the hub, it's hard to see the structure clearly. That's where I came in. When I started working with Sarah, the first thing I noticed wasn't a tool problem or a people problem. It was a design problem. Her business had grown significantly, but the way it operated hadn't evolved with it. She was still the decision maker for things that didn't need her. She was still the approver for tasks that her team was fully capable of owning. She was still the connector between strategy and execution, the translation layer that everything has to pass through before it can move. And here's the thing about being the translation layer. It's invisible work. Nobody sees it. Nobody puts it on a task list. But it is constant. And it is exhausting. Sarah wasn't overwhelmed because she lacked help. She was overwhelmed because the structure still required her. There's a big difference between those two things. And once we named it, everything changed. Now here's what I want you to pay attention to, because this is the part that most people get wrong when they try to fix it on their own. The shift wasn't more SOPs, and it wasn't adding a new team member. It wasn't a new project management tool or a better system for approvals either. And it definitely wasn't Sarah working harder or becoming more disciplined. The real shift was structural. Decisions stopped living in her head and started living in the business. Her team stopped waiting for her context and instead started operating with their own. The business stopped relying on Sarah's brain as its operating system. And here's what that actually looked in real life. Her team started bringing solutions instead of just questions. Projects were moving forward without Sarah as the connector. She stopped getting pulled into every micro clarification, every just checking message, every approval that didn't actually need her. She had uninterrupted time to think again, not react, actually think. And then the moment that really said everything. Sarah went on a 2-week vacation without her laptop. 2 weeks. And her business didn't stall. It didn't fall apart. It didn't need her to move forward. Because for the first time, her business could function without her being the hub. Now, I want to be really clear about something because I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, Krista, how? What did you actually do? I'm going to get to that. But first, I want to tell you what we did not do, because that is just as important. We did not write 100 new SOPs. We did not hire 5 more people on her team. We did not install a new tech tool or restructure her entire tech stack. We did not ask Sarah to let go of her standards or stop caring about the quality. And we absolutely did not tell her to just trust her team and hope for the best. Because here's what I've learned after working with business owners at this stage. The problem was never that Sarah needed to do more. The problem was that her business was structurally designed to need her, and nobody had ever helped her learn how to redesign it. The shift wasn't more documentation. It was structural clarity. And structural clarity changes everything. If you're still the hub right now, if everything is still routing through you, I really want you to hear this. This stage is not permanent. The pressure lifting is not a fantasy. What Sarah experienced is not a fluke, but it does require intentional redesign. Hiring alone won't create it. More tools won't create it. Wanting it badly enough won't create it. Relief doesn't come from more help. It comes from the right structure. And when that structure is in place, you stop being the thing that your business runs on. You become the person who runs the business. And that's a completely different role, and it's available to you. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what needs to change first, so you can stop guessing and start fixing the right thing. Because the shift Sarah made didn't depend on a large overhaul. It started with getting clear on exactly where the dependency lived so that we could change that first. Go watch the next one.